Dear listeners, please listen to this story completely till the end. After hearing it, the way you live and your outlook on life will change greatly. It will become simpler. Through this story, we can learn how to achieve great accomplishments in life. Listeners, if you are visiting our channel for the first time or haven't yet subscribed, please become a member of our channel and share your thoughts with us. It encourages us and makes our efforts feel worthwhile. We strive to bring you new and beautiful stories every time. Buddha says that the peace we are constantly searching for peace within us, deep inside our own being. There is no need to look for it outside, because that effort will be in vain. Today, if we observe, man is running endlessly. He always feels the need to keep running. Within him is a strong desire to be ahead of others, to prove that he possesses something special compared to the rest. But man fails to realize that the path he is running on has no end, it is infinite. No matter how far he runs, he will never reach the finish line or his ultimate goal, because it is boundless, like the sky itself. In the end, when the final moment of life arrives, he will see that he is standing exactly where he began. People don't think about this. They only want to show that they are the best in this endless race. When someone asks what we have achieved in life, we often say things like, "I achieved this, I earned that, I worked hard for many years to reach where I am today." But only those who truly realize how much of their time they've wasted in this endless race understand the real answer to that question. People are deeply involved in this race because they have not yet found their true goal. They still believe they must reach some final victory or destination. The strange thing is, when you look back, you will see that you are running all alone on this path. No one can escape from this race. But those who have come to know themselves, who have realized their true nature, become aware of this infinite journey. They begin to correct their mistakes. Those who do not know why they are running, or where they are running to, will keep running endlessly. Let us try to understand this through a story to see how one can bring an end to this never-ending journey. Once upon a time, there lived a wise master on top of a mountain. He was a man of great knowledge and wisdom, and his fame had spread far and wide. Yet, throughout his entire life, he had never accepted a single disciple. Whenever anyone came to him seeking to become his student, he would send them away. Time passed, and the years rolled by. The master grew old, and daily tasks became difficult for him. He began to think, if only I had a disciple now, it would have been helpful. Someone could have assisted me. He regretted how he had driven everyone away. Now, no one came to him anymore. People had stopped approaching him for discipleship, having seen his strange behavior. Everyone thought he was mad. They would say, "Who would want to become the disciple of a crazy man? He drives away everyone who comes near him and doesn't let anyone stay." One day, a young man arrived at the master's hermitage carrying his small bundle of belongings. He bowed respectfully and said, "Revered Guru, I have heard that you are a man of great wisdom. Your fame has spread far and wide. I have a humble request. Though I know you have never accepted anyone as your disciple, please make me your disciple. I have come with a deep desire to learn from you and to gain true knowledge. Please teach me." He continued, "When I was on my way here, people tried to stop me. They all said the same thing, don't go to him. He's mad. He never accepts anyone as his disciple. If you go, he'll scold you and drive you away. But still, I felt in my heart that I must come and learn from you. Please, Guruji, accept me as your disciple. I beg of you, do not refuse me." Hearing the young man's words, the master said, "Ah. From today, you are my disciple. I will begin teaching you tomorrow." Evening fell. There was no water source on the mountain, and the nearest stream was far away. The young man grew very thirsty and began searching for water, but found none. Seeing this, the master said, "My child, you won't find water here tonight. We must spend the night as it is. Tomorrow morning, we'll go fetch water." The disciple obeyed and endured the night. The next morning, the master and disciple set out to bring water. They reached a well, and by then the disciple was extremely thirsty, his throat parched. Without waiting, he drew water from the well and drank it eagerly in one gulp. Seeing this, the master said, "Foolish one! Have you forgotten me already? Did it not occur to you that I too am thirsty? Do you think I have no need for water?" The disciple bowed his head in shame and said, "Master, please forgive me. I was unbearably thirsty. In that moment, I could think of nothing else, not even you. As soon as I drew the water from the well, I drank it instantly. Let me now bring some water for you." Saying this, he quickly drew more water from the well and offered it to the master. Afterward, the disciple said, "Master, you told me yesterday that you would begin teaching me today about true knowledge." The master replied, "Ah, yes. I remember. Now, draw some water from the well once again." The disciple obeyed and fetched water once more. The master looked at the water and asked, "Tell me, my disciple, what difference do you find between this water and the water you drank earlier?" The disciple listened carefully to the master's words and began observing the water in his hands intently. But he could not understand what the master meant. He finally said, "Master, I don't see any difference between this water and the water I drank earlier. To truly compare them, both samples should be placed side by side, but that's not possible now, since I've already drunk the first one. How can I tell the difference between them now? You're not trying to make a fool of me, are you? Because water is always the same, it has no difference. Water is just water." Hearing the disciple's words, the master looked at him thoughtfully and said, "When a person deeply desires something, he pours all his energy and attention into attaining it. In that moment, he can see only the object of his desire, nothing else around him is visible. He becomes blind to everything else. You were extremely thirsty, your throat was dry, and your only thought was of water. The moment you drew it from the well, you drank it without a second thought. Not once did it occur to you that I, standing beside you, might also be thirsty or in need of water. Now you hold water again in your hands. Its taste and form are the same as before, yet this is not the same water for which your life was desperate a while ago. That moment has passed. If you were still as thirsty now as you were then, you would have already drunk it. But now, since your thirst is gone, you can as well pour it away, into the ground or back into the well. The taste of this water and the water in the well are the same. But, my child, according to the situation and your state of mind, the same thing appears different to you at different times. The change happens within you, not outside." Hearing his master's words, the disciple felt great joy. He took out a notebook and a pen from his bag and began writing down every word the master had said. Seeing this, the master asked gently, "My child, what are you doing?" The disciple replied, "Master, I'm writing down everything you just said in this book. I want to remember your teachings and reflect upon them deeply. I don't wish to forget even a single word. Only by understanding and memorizing your wisdom can I become truly enlightened, and someday share that knowledge with others. If I forget what you've taught or fail to live by it, then my coming here, all my effort, will have been in vain." The master said, "That's all right, my child. Come, it's time to return to the ashram. On the way back, we must also beg for alms." So the guru and disciple set out on their return journey, begging along the way. After reaching the ashram, they ate what they had gathered, and as night fell, they went to sleep. The next morning, the master woke the disciple and said, "Come, let's go again to the well." They set out together, and when they reached the well, the master told the disciple to draw some water. The disciple did as he was told. Then the master said, "My child, yesterday you also drew water from this same well. Now tell me, what difference do you see between yesterday's water and today's?" Hearing this, the disciple immediately took out his notebook and began reading aloud. The master said, "When a person greatly desires something, he puts all his effort into achieving it and forgets everything around him." Before he could finish, the master interrupted sharply, saying, "Foolish boy! What are you doing?" The disciple replied, "Master, I was reflecting on the wisdom you taught me." I was trying to find the answer to the question you just asked. The master said, "Foolish one. Smell this water." The disciple did as he was told, and immediately noticed a foul stench coming from it. The master then leaned over the well and looked inside. A wild animal had fallen in and died. Together, the master and disciple worked hard to remove the dead creature from the well. After doing so, the master said, "My child, do you see this?" "Yes, master, I see it," replied the disciple. The master continued, "Every living being that is born must one day die. Death is certain. After death, that being is reborn, and through that rebirth, the purpose of its previous life is fulfilled. From the moment of birth, every passing day brings one closer to death. Death never comes suddenly, it begins the very day one is born. Some die early, some much later, but death is inevitable for all. Every being must journey from birth to death according to its karma." The disciple once again took out his notebook and pen and began writing down what the master had said. Seeing this, the master grew angry and said sternly, "Disciple, come, walk toward the well." Startled and frightened, the disciple said, "Master, please. I am still young. I do not wish to die so soon. Have mercy on me and spare my life." The master sighed and said, "Foolish boy. I'm not going to throw you into the well. We're going there to build a fence around it, so that no animal or person accidentally falls in again." Then the guru and disciple gathered a large number of wooden logs and worked hard to build a strong fence around the well. Soon, it was well protected, and no one could fall into it unknowingly. The disciple bowed and said, "Revered Guru, you once told me that you would grant me true knowledge. Please give me such wisdom that I will never again need to seek knowledge from anywhere else. With time, you are growing older, and we never know when death may come. Therefore, please bless me with the highest knowledge, so that I may one day teach others and spread your wisdom throughout the world." Saying this, he took out his notebook and pen, ready to write down whatever the master might say. But the master said nothing. He simply sat in silence. Time passed, and after sitting quietly for a long while, the master stood up and walked away. The disciple observed this and wrote in his notebook, "The greatest wisdom of all is silence." The next day, he asked the same question again. And once again, the master gave no reply, he simply sat in silence for a long time, then rose and left. Days turned into weeks, and weeks into months. A whole year passed. During that time, the disciple learned only one thing: the greatest knowledge is silence. That was the only line written throughout his book, repeated over and over. Each time he asked a question, the master remained silent, so the disciple, too, kept writing the same truth. But slowly, the disciple's patience began to wear thin. One night, the disciple could not sleep. He tossed and turned restlessly on his bed. It was a full moon night. At last, he stepped outside and sat down, lost in thought. He wondered, why hasn't my master given me any teaching yet? Is it that he doesn't wish to share his wisdom with me? Or perhaps I am not yet worthy to receive it? 1,000 such questions began to rise in his mind. Just then, he heard the soft chirping of a bird. His attention immediately focused on that sound. Soon, he began to notice everything around him: the cool breeze brushing against his skin, the gentle rustling of leaves, the faint sounds of small creatures moving in the night. Silence surrounded him from all directions. He became aware of it, not just hearing it, but feeling it. He closed his eyes and simply listened. His mind grew still. For the first time in his life, he experienced deep inner peace, a calm joy that filled his being. In that moment, he completely forgot that his master had never given him any verbal teaching. The disciple thought to himself, "I must tell my master about this experience." He took out his notebook and pen to write it down, but as he opened the book, he noticed that on every single page, there was only one line written: "The greatest wisdom of all is silence." In that moment, realization dawned upon him. My master has indeed been giving me the highest knowledge all along, but I had failed to understand it. He now saw that the silence he had just experienced was the very wisdom his master had been trying to impart, the essence of true knowledge. Filled with peace, he wished to experience that silence once more. So instead of sleeping, he went back outside, sat in the same spot, and immersed himself in that flow of stillness throughout the night. He felt the depth of calm spreading within him, pure, boundless peace. When he finally opened his eyes, dawn had already arrived. After that night, the disciple went to his master. When he arrived, the master was deep in meditation. The disciple quietly sat down beside him and watched in silence. When the master finally opened his eyes, he saw his disciple sitting before him. At once, he understood, the disciple had experienced silence, had tasted inner peace. The master smiled gently and said, "My child, silence itself is not knowledge, it is the foundation of knowledge. It is through silence that we begin to see what the eyes cannot see. No matter how much noise and chaos exist outside, within you there must always be silence." Hearing this, the disciple took his notebook and pen and placed them respectfully at the feet of his master. From that day onward, he never wrote another word. He had finally experienced the truth, not through learning, but through silence itself. In that silence, he had truly attained wisdom. Dear listeners, from the moment we are born until the end of our lives, we are constantly engaged in gathering something, collecting, earning, achieving. And no matter how much we gain, we still desire more. We crave to accumulate endlessly. Because of this, a kind of restlessness always lingers in our minds. The mind becomes disturbed and distracted, unable to move steadily toward any true goal. We never allow our minds to rest, even for a single moment. As soon as one task is done, we rush to the next, and then the next, and the next, until our whole lifetime passes in this endless chase. We run behind illusions, afraid to waste even a moment, yet we never truly experience inner peace. And so, no matter how much we achieve or acquire, we fail to feel real joy or fulfillment from it. My friends, perhaps you too are tired of running this endless race. If so, pause for a moment, be silent. That silence will show you the right path and give you the strength to walk upon it. Try to look within yourself. Many people appear calm on the outside, but within, they are restless and uneasy. We find no peace in anything we pursue, we keep running from one thing to another, always trying to gain something new. But none of these bring lasting peace. You might ask, how can we experience silence? How do we look within? How can we keep our minds calm? The simplest way is meditation. Observe your actions and your thoughts with full awareness. Notice what you are doing, how much time you give to each thing, and what thoughts arise in your mind when you see or experience something. Then you will begin to understand how much of your thinking is unnecessary, how much of it has nothing to do with the present moment. No one can know you better than you yourself. And no one else can transform you, only you can. You have the power to shape yourself in whatever way you wish. So, keep practicing with sincerity and consistency. Through that, you will achieve true peace, and you will find a clear direction and purpose for your life. Dear friends, if you liked this story, please do share your thoughts with us. Tell your family and friends too, so that they may also benefit from its message. If you haven't yet subscribed to our channel, please do so now. May your life always be filled with happiness, peace, and prosperity. We will continue to bring you more inspiring stories and thoughtful messages. Your one like and subscription truly encourage and motivate us to keep going.